Hey there, Grateful Gang. It's Lauren Blanchard-Zaleski with Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. Welcome to Gratefully Living the Chronic Life. We have a very special show for you tonight with my friend Gwynn Press Anidjar, who I'll introduce in a moment. But Gwynn, thank you for being here with us tonight. It's a real special treat.
Thank you for having me, Lauren.
You guys are going to love what she has to say. And we're having a contest, which I'll talk about in a minute as well. So it's episode 30. You are episode 30, Gwynn.
Wow.
I know. It kind of seems like I just started, but we've had 30 episodes. And right when I think that there really aren't many topics that we haven't touched on, I find more. I mean, tapping into your inner wisdom, accessing your inner wisdom, which is what you'll be talking about, it's fascinating. And I know when you and I, had a meeting prior to this where we discussed the episode, the stuff you had to say is just really, I think it can really help those of us with not only chronic pain and illness, but anybody with life struggles, which is pretty much everybody, I think. So thank you all for being here. Gratefully Living the Chronic Life is a weekly show I do on Thursday nights at this time. And each week we talk about a different topic pertaining to chronic pain, illness, and that's emotional or physical pain. But really, I'm finding that each episode really pertains to pretty much everybody that goes through struggles. So I'm glad to have you all here with us. If you're watching on YouTube or in the group, our group is Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, and that's a closed group we have on Facebook. We'd love to have you join us if you're not already a member. We really just try to take a bad situation and make lemonade out of lemons, because if you don't really accept things as they are at the moment, you're never going to be able to move on with a happy, fulfilling life. And that's what we try to do in the group. Let's see, we've got, if you haven't joined us before, welcome. We are live, of course, but we also, these episodes are all recorded. So for those that can't make it during this live time, you'll be able to see it on YouTube and in the group afterwards. So we've got a couple people wanting to say hello to you already, Gwynn. Let's see. Got Diana McGillivary-Brusso. Hello, everyone. Hi there. Margaret Carica Morris is here. Hello. Karen Hilliard. And hi, Lauren, Gwynn, and all present. On my screen, you're showing up as Facebook user, because if you are watching from in the group and you haven't given permission for StreamYard, which is the software we're using to use your name and picture, that's why you don't show up. So if you want to tell us who you are, that's great. If you're happy with being Facebook user, that's great too. But thank you for being here. And got Karen Goldberg. Hi, Lauren and Gwynn. I'm really looking forward to this. Me too. Me too. And Sarah Garrison. Hello. Hi, everybody. So before I get any further, let me, first I got to show you my t-shirt, of course. Every week, if you're new to us, every week I wear a different t-shirt, usually with something with gratitude on it. And again, right when I think I've run out, I get more. And this one was given to me as a gift from my nieces and nephew just last week. It says, Radiate Positivity. So thank you, Alexander, Campbell, Lindsay, and McKenna for my shirt. But so we're also a town hall atmosphere. We like to have people kind of comment and interact with us. Any questions you may have for Gwynn, any comments, insights, please feel free. I try to get everything up on the screen if I can. But what I was going to say is the contest. So Gwynn is a life coach, a certified life coach, and she has graciously agreed to donate 3 free virtual sessions with her to anybody watching live tonight. So what you need to do, if you'd like, we're not
to one person watching live tonight.
What did I say? Did I say 3?
To anybody watching live tonight.
I knew what I meant, but yes, thank you. It's not for everybody. So one lucky person will win 3 sessions. And all you have to do if you are interested in getting the 3 free sessions, to enter, just put in the comments the words free coaching, and I'll be announcing that throughout the episode. And our good friend Arlene Hildred is helping us out tonight. She's going to be writing down all the names and drawing the names out of a cyber hat, so to speak. So thank you, Arlene. So again, free coaching is all you need to say in the comments. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Gwynn, let me read your bio. Gwynn and I are friends from a long time ago. Let me be official first, and I'll read your bio. Gwynn Press Anidjar is a life coach who specializes in helping women get in touch with their inner wisdom. Gwynn is certified as a Martha Beck Wayfinder life coach, a holistic health coach, and an associate polarity practitioner. She's been fascinated by the mind-body connection ever since she learned meditation, Tai Chi, and the Feldenkrais technique during her years as an actress. The Feldenkrais technique, that's an actor's thing, right? Because I feel like I remember Riley telling me about that.
It's so yes, they use it to teach actors movement, but it's also used for physical therapy, and it's like very simple movements. So you really learn to get in touch with your body and to not pressure yourself, which I think really affected my philosophy very much and got me interested in the whole mind-body connection, because it changed very much how I felt inside these little movements. They're very freeing.
We are awfully hard on ourselves too. It's tough to be gentle with ourselves sometimes, isn't it? So let me go on. But I meant to ask you about the Feldenkrais thing. As a teenager, Gwynn was a regular on the ABC daytime drama, The Edge of Night. And she was in the movie The Warriors, for any of you that were around in the 70s. What year was it? 78, 79?
79, I think, yeah.
She was in the movie The Warriors. Check it out. Later, she was an associate editor for Parents Magazine, where she had 4 feature articles and numerous short pieces published. Gwynn coaches virtually over the telephone or over teleconference. Follow her on Facebook at Gwynn Press Anidjar Life Coach. Her website is gwynnpressanijarcoaching.com, and I'll put her contact information up while the episode's going on. So let me. Before I talk about, we have a lot more comments. Let's see here. Campbell, my niece, hey Aunt Lauren and Ms. Gwynn, hey Soupy. Facebook user saying hi. Thanks for being here. Linda Edwards says hi Lauren and hi Gwynn. Hi Linda. Deborah Immer Scott is here. Hi Lauren and Gwynn. Here's my dad. Good evening to the greatest moderator on any media. I'm like Howard Stern. He calls himself the king of all media. I'm not like Howard Stern at all. Sarah Garrison, wonderful saying. Lindsay's here, one of my other nieces. Hi, Aunt Lauren and Ms. Gwynn. And there's my mom. Hello, Gwynn and Lauren. Looking forward to tonight's program. Hello from Debbie Kotra. Sorry for the pronunciation of your word if that's not correct. First time for me. Thank you for joining us. So glad to have you here. Hello, Grateful Tear friends. That is a new saying that Sarah needs to trademark, Grateful Tears. And then there's a bunch of the free coachings too, which Arlene is writing down. I'm not going to put them all on the screen, but I'm glad so many of you are looking to take advantage of that. We'll be doing the drawing with 5 minutes left in the program, right at the end of the program. There's a Warriors fan.
So a minute ago I froze. So if that happens again, I might disconnect and reconnect again at a different. I have 2 choices. So did you notice that I froze?
I didn't.
Okay.
Maybe just on your end. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Okay.
Did I just get Robin Davis? Hello, Robin. I'm glad you're here. Wow, you're getting a lot of people wanting to take advantage of the free coaching. That's fantastic. So Gwynn and I know each other. I was trying to think of where it all really started, but our kids grew up together basically. Gwynn has, as she said, an acting background, and I do not have an acting background. I had a small cameo in Little Abner with Melvin the janitor, but we used to work on the school play together with the kids in middle school. And then we worked on the nonprofit theater thing as well. We helped. Well, Gwynn gave acting lessons to the kids. I was more kind of like the, stay in line. But we became really close friends with our friend Barbara, who was also doing it with us. And I think you ran some PTA things as well. It's just we've always kind of been. Oh, there you just went black for a second, but you're okay now. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Hmm.
Well, let's continue on. If it happens again, maybe we can have you come back in. It was just for a split second, so hopefully it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, Pamela Creighton's showing up as Facebook user. I just checked and have set to allow access. See, Facebook never behaves. So anyway, so we know each other from way back when, and we've just remained friends over the years. You know, as the kids grow, or both of her son and daughter are grown, my son and daughter are grown, but we've kept in touch just because we've always had a connection. I think probably because of the mind-body connection, being fascinated with just being a student of the human experience, I would say. Plus, we just really like each other. So it's a real honor to have you on the show and talk about your life coaching and tapping into your inner wisdom. So what, tell us about inner wisdom and why it's important for us to access that.
Okay. So inner wisdom is that part of you that knows what your next best step is. It's like that little voice inside you that speaks your truth. So, you know, a lot of times in our society, we'll say, like, go with your gut or lead from your heart. So your body is mentioned in those sayings for a reason, because you can only really access your inner wisdom. It's like when you try to make decisions with your mind, you're leaving out your body. You need to include your body and your emotions in order to get to your whole spirit. And that's where your real, true answers lie. So, and one of the reasons why is the brain processes information at 40 bits per second, but your nervous system, which includes your brain and your body, processes information at 11 million bits per second. So you're getting so much more when you include your body in decisions and your kind of your whole self.
That's so interesting.
You'll know the difference when something comes from your inner wisdom. It just feels right completely. It's not like when you try and make a decision, let's say we make the pros and cons list, that's only utilizing your brain. But it doesn't mean don't make the pros and cons list. It means maybe make the pros and cons list, but then go beyond that, you know, go deeper than just that and allow the answer to come up from within rather than forcing the answer. Does that sort of make sense?
It does, but now, of course, I'm dying to ask you the next question. So how do we do this? How do we tap into it? Because I know for myself, I do the pro and con list in my head all the time. You know, should I go to this event? Will it make me feel, will the possible outcome of me not feeling so great the next day be worth, you know, would be worth the event? So I use my head for that. I'm not necessarily using my inner wisdom. So it's fascinating.
Yeah. So there are a lot of ways to get to your inner wisdom, but there's one that I did want to teach today that's called the KIND process. So it's the K is for, it's an acronym. So the K is for know your body. The I is for inhabit your emotions. The N is for notice your mind. And the D is for discover your inner wisdom. So
I'm going to write these down in the comments. Yeah. Know your body. Yes.
Know your body, inhabit your emotions, notice your mind or notice your thoughts, and discover your inner wisdom. So you can do it as, you can do the KIND process as like a 5-minute thing, or you can really spend a long time on it. So we start the know your body, like you would get into, do you want me to take you through it, or should I just explain it at least?
Yeah, well, if you don't mind, if you want to take me through it, that would be great.
Okay. So, and everybody at home can follow along too, if they would like to. So what we'll do is sort of a meditation, maybe Great. Not, you know, what you normally think of as a meditation, but it is a form of meditation.
Awesome.
So you would want to be comfortable, certainly. So those of you who are at home can, lay down if you want, or get a comfy blanket. So the first thing you would do is, if you're comfortable closing your eyes, you can, Lauren. If not, feel free to leave them open, because this is, you're probably not going to get the complete relaxation that hopefully someone at home might get, since you're
they're not usually live on the air, but I'll try to channel it. Okay.
So first you would scan your body for any comfort or discomfort. You can sort of send your mind into your feet first. Just pay attention to your feet, feel them on the floor. Notice any sensations, whether it's cold or tingling. And notice your breath. Don't feel like you have to control it or do anything to it. Just notice your belly moving up and down, maybe hearing your breath. And notice your legs. And if you get to some place that is feeling uncomfortable, the ideal is to allow your attention to just really notice it and describe it. But of course, if it's too uncomfortable to keep your attention there, you can move your attention back to a part of your body that is feeling comfortable, the more pleasant sensation. But if you notice someplace that's tight or uncomfortable and you can stay there, try and describe it. And you don't have to say it out loud. If you'd like to, you can, but try and come up with some adjectives. The more you can really describe that sensation, the more you can really feel into it, the more you're getting in touch with what your body's trying to tell you. So if you find a sensation that maybe needs a little more attention because it's not quite all happy and pleasant, and you describe it, maybe for me sometimes it's like my jaw might feel like it's made of stone. And you might ask that stone jaw, what is your purpose here? Again, in your mind, just communicating with your body parts. And you may get an answer, you may not. But often the answer will be some kind of protection, because your body really wants to protect you. It's often protecting you, I find, from feelings, from too much feelings. The tension is there to protect us, because in our society, we're not expected to show our feelings in every moment, in every situation. We're trying to keep it together. And as you go through your body, notice your thoughts and inhabit your emotions. So let's say a feeling comes up as you're going through your body. Allow that emotion, thank that emotion, be with that emotion. And if a thought comes up, oh, I'm not doing this right, I should be doing it differently, or any thought, I should buy milk tomorrow, just allow that thought. Just notice the thoughts as they keep coming. And when you're able to get through your whole body, you've scanned your body for any tension, you've really gone into those places of tension, those places that feel good, you've inhabited the emotions that you're feeling, you've noticed your thoughts. Now place one hand on your heart and the heel of the other hand at your third eye, like above your two eyebrows in the center, the center. And you can rest your hand on your forehead, and you can just ask, what is it I need to know? And if you have something specific you want an answer to, you can ask that too. I once asked, how can I improve my relationship with my daughter? Or sometimes I'll ask, what do I need to do to feel better? And you can take that hand and rub the top of your head. You can take the heel off, of the hand off. Just rub the very crown of your head a little, just waking it up. And then you can rest it again. And if nothing comes, that's all right. We're not trying to force an answer. We're just trying to open ourselves up to the wisdom inside us. And we can give it some time. The answer may not come right now. It may come as you're going around about your day. Let's just give it a minute now. And then when you're ready, you can put your hands back wherever they're comfortable. And you can open your eyes. So even if nothing comes right now, just opening yourself up to your wisdom, I think you'll feel, and if not the first time, then certain the second or the third time you do it, you'll feel much more in touch with your spirit, with your truth, with what's important to you. And really, when we're making decisions, most of the time there is no right decision. There's only the right decision for you. There's only the decision that's going to make you feel like you listen to your own conscience, that's going to feel like you're in integrity with yourself. And that's what this is bringing you to.
I really like I loved it. It was really wonderful. And I've done other meditations with the hand on the heart, but never on the third eye. That was really comforting and made me feel kind of empowered to accept whatever comes to me. I really liked that.
Good. Yeah. That's exactly how you should feel. And the more you do it, the more you feel in tuned with that part of you. Like, it takes time sometimes to accept and to not force the answers but the more you do it, the more the answers come. The more you start to notice too that your body may react in such a way, like sometimes I just get stuck and can't move, and I know that my body's telling me, oh yeah, I have to go back and talk to my daughter about something. I'm not ready to just go, leave her alone, or whatever it is that you've been dealing with. Your body begins to really give you answers as you tune into it more.
Because a lot of the time I would imagine we just make kind of decisions on the fly, because we're always on the fly, even if we don't, even if we're not running around physically, you're not taking time to really sit with making a decision. Is that what you find?
Yes. And also we tend to, or at least I do, you tend to ruminate over decisions, right? If you're not doing this, you go, should I do this? Should I do that? And you go over and over and play the tape in your head of all the things that you could be doing. And that just ties you up in a ball. It makes it much harder to make a decision, and it causes stress, which can make your pain or your anxiety worse. This is a way to allow the decisions to flow more rather than to have them going around and around and around. It takes you out of the spiral.
And do you kind of recommend that people do this
every day,
which is great? Almost a breath break, guys. In fact, it is a breath break. So nice way to tune into yourself. But is it a certain amount of time, or just kind of when you feel you're done?
Yeah, when you feel you're done. You can do it very quickly. You can do a very quick check-in, and that's it, Or if you really have the time, it can be beautiful to really spend the time particularly going through the whole body scan, making sure all the parts of your body feel paid attention to and loved. I mean, to me, it's almost like a mini massage, which
Yeah.
we can't do right now. It's really a wonderful way to give some love to your body.
And I like you started off as pretty much a body scan. Body scan
Yeah.
meditations start off similar to that, and I find those to be really powerful too, because I can walk around saying, "Oh, I just hurt today," but I'm not paying attention. All right, what exactly hurts? Where is it confined to? Can I pay attention to the stuff that doesn't hurt? So it's just another way to slow down, which, being mindful is so important. And I admit that I have trouble doing it. I do the breath breaks every day to try to do it. I forgot to do one today, and now I'm glad that we did yours because I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and so people with, well, any struggles would benefit from that because we all have decisions to be made. And people with chronic pain, illness, disability find that it works even more for them, or just in different ways.
Yeah, so for people with chronic pain, I mean, I just think it's even more important for you. But yeah, I mean, I sometimes even not the whole process, but just this little process of tuning into the body and asking it what it needs and if there's anything it wants to tell me. Like I sometimes do that even when I'm walking. Like today, my hip, which is one of my problem areas, started to stiffen up when I went for my walk. And it just sort of in my mind say, what is it, this stiff, you do the adjectives like stiff, painful hip. What do you want? What, and I don't mean it I'm saying it in a mean way, but what is your purpose here? What do you want me to know? And often it's just to slow down, or that it's okay, or, it's usually something very simple comes to me, but it actually does ease the pain, this talking to and engaging with the part of your body, as opposed to most of the time we try to avoid the feeling. We get angry with it, go away, leave me alone, instead of embracing the part of our body that's screaming at us and allowing it to have a voice,
I don't know if you watched my episode last week about the power of our words, but I read when I was at Silver Hill in the chronic pain program 8 years ago, one of the exercises was to write a letter from yourself to your pain, and then about a week later, they had us write a letter from your pain back to you. And it was interesting to verbalize it. It was also interesting to hear the kind of voice that my pain ended up having. It wasn't this angry monster that I thought it was going to be. Really powerful exercise. But you mentioned, the reason why I thought of that is because you mentioned talking to yourself, and we're not always very nice to ourselves when we talk to ourselves, which we spoke about last week too.
Exactly, which is the other part of what this kind process is all about, is being kind to yourself. Like that's the whole idea. And all of the pressure that we put on ourselves and the negative things we say to ourselves can make our pain worse, can make our illness worse, I mean, and which brings us to something else we were going to talk about, which is conscious complaining. So it is good to get those thoughts out if you're angry at the world or at your body, and why do I have to have this? Like there is something called conscious complaining, where you could just go outside or in your room alone or in your diary, just write all the angry, whiny, really indulge your worst feelings and thoughts and get them out. We don't want to repress them.
Right.
We want to give them a place to be there, because your emotions too need to be embraced. Like any part of ourselves that we're pushing away becomes part of this battle that we're in, and the battle increases our stress, which increases our pain.
Right. It's a constant battle, I find. And that was part of when I came, I have to come to acceptance with my illness just about every day. But it's just so much easier to kind of move on with the now what can I do, if I'm just saying, all right, I've got this pain for right this moment. How can I work around it? How can we work together which is what those letters that my pain and I wrote back and forth to each other. We talked about working together, because no matter how much I ignore it, repress it, like you said, it's not going to go away. And it very well, like you said, make it worse to just fight it. Yeah, I've said this before, and this is just a personal thing. I'm not necessarily recommending it for everybody, but I never refer to myself as a chronic pain warrior, because the Warriors movie, Gwynn was in it. But I just feel like for me, it's just saying that I'm fighting with myself, and that's just for me. You know, there are a lot of meanings to what that could mean for people. But I just say we're kind of coexisting, and I'm a chronic pain thriver is what I'd like to say. But just the battle, I used to fight it all the time, and it made things worse. I started self-destructive behaviors. So it wasn't a healthy way for me to go. Do you find that with people, if they repress their feelings like that it's...
Yeah. No, that's all beautiful what you said. Yeah, very, very true.
So we've got some more comments we want to get to before we move on. Karen Goldberg says The Edge of Night was her favorite soap. Let's see, we've got here. I've got a bunch of my own typing here. Jill, where's Jill Cook? I saw Jill Cook. So happy to be here and to have this opportunity. Glad you're here, Jill. Stay open to learning, absolutely. For forever seeker of knowledge. I think you said that to me today, and you had a post on your page that I read, fellow seeker. I liked that. There is no right answer, just your answer. Yet Gwynn said that. It's true, and I would imagine the answers can differ day by day too. It could be a different answer tomorrow. Sarah Garrison says, my chiropractor was talking to me about this earlier today. Wow, she said, I am trained to believe I need to stay busy, which contributes to my exhaustion. Absolutely. What's that saying? There's you're not now I can't think of it. Something about keeping yourself too busy. You're a human, not a human doing, right?
Right.
I love that. And I definitely fall into that category. Sarah goes on to say, so empowering. Thanks for another tool in my self-care toolbox. It really was wonderful. Karen says, even though I couldn't find words, my pain was lessened. I love the third eye. Me too. That was a really nice treat to incorporate that in there. Try to keep our mind and body in the same place. Absolute tie between mental and physical. You guys, you just have such insights all the time. It's such a pleasure to get your comments, questions, any questions you may have for Gwynn during this hour, please feel free. What is, we talked about this a little bit before, but let me put this up. I haven't put it up in a couple minutes. If you didn't join us at the beginning of the episode, Gwynn is offering as a prize to one person watching, one viewer tonight, that she's going to offer 3 free virtual coaching sessions with her. To be a part of that, if you're interested in winning that, just write in the comments free coaching. And then we have Arlene is our keeper of the names and is going to draw names out of a hat. So free coaching or something along those lines, and we'll know that you are interested. I'm glad to see so many people that want to take part in it. So when I was writing the kind technique to everybody, I missed the E. Can you remind me once again what the E, the last one was, or the D?
The D is discover your inner wisdom. Inner wisdom.
Got it. Sarah Garrison just wrote that same thing. She wrote, what was the D, or no, where'd she go? What was the D in your acronym, please? There we go. So what the coaching that you offer, I know it must differ very much from person to person, but what is a life coach, what do they do, and how can that help anybody really? I mean, these are tough times we're going through. So
yeah, so
I feel like I'm getting a free coaching session right now.
Ask is, what's the difference between therapy and coaching? And we like to use the analogy that a therapist is to a coach like a doctor is to a fitness trainer. So a doctor gets you from unwell to well, and a fitness trainer gets you from well to optimally well. And it's the same with a therapist. They're getting you from mentally unwell to well, whereas a coach is getting you from well to thriving.
Love that.
So the idea is a coach is going to help you have more clarity, can help you obviously get in touch with your inner wisdom, with your desires, with how to go about actually getting them. I like to really help people who have spent a lot of their lives pleasing others or doing what they think is expected of them, and learning to really do what they want to be doing. So a lot
Otherwise
of
known
it,
as empaths, right? And we have,
yeah,
I know we have a lot of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of it can be unraveling limiting beliefs that you have about yourself or about what you have to do. Um, it's yeah, I mean, and it can be working with getting more in touch with your body, with your emotions, with your desires, all of that.
So you would speak to somebody and they would kind of relate to you what they're having issues with, and you kind of work around that with helping them to know how to get in touch with their inner wisdom.
Yeah, so we have a lot of different tools that we can use, but certainly yes. So I would probably ask what their area of least satisfaction was, and we would work from there, trying to. And a lot of times people just need to be listened to, without judgment. There's a lot of healing that happens just in that place.
There
It's
is
hard to
for sure.
explain, but clarity certainly is a word that comes to mind, is what you get.
I love that.
Clarity.
I love that.
Yeah.
I read something just yesterday. No, it was today. I think Judith Orloff's reading for today was something about one of the benefits of growing older is becoming more mature in your clarity and your there was something else too. I think it started with a C, but that's funny that you bring that up because I really loved that quote of hers. Her clarity, and your spirituality is what she said. Didn't start with a C, but that's okay. Yeah, I know a lot of times, and I'm an empath, and I know you are familiar with Judith Orloff's work, and she was on the show a few months ago. But the people-pleasing thing has been an issue, for my whole life, and I've been learning how to say no, and that's a lot of, from a lot of people coming to be a guest on the show like you. Learning how to set boundaries is very difficult. Even for those of us, we may be really, really struggling ourselves, but we still want to help others more than we want to help ourselves. Why do you think that is?
Well, for women, our culture sort of sets us up that way. But there's some of it may even be coming through the DNA, because certainly women have been the keepers of the family, so that has been a survival instinct. I think it comes from both places, but certainly culturally we're taught to put others first as women. And that's something, it gives us we get a lot of praise for doing that in our culture. But yeah, we have to learn to also include ourselves, and have our own needs met. Otherwise, it's not very fulfilling, and you can become very unhappy and then not be able to really take care of the other people in your life very well either.
It's true. I think I always thought that saying no to people would make them, I don't want to say not like me. I didn't think that was the case, but maybe I just like being the person that did it all. And, you and I go way back, that I used to be that person.
Absolutely.
Still can be a little bit. But saying no, there's something, I think I respect myself more when I am able to say no. And I think people can respect you more too when you're able to draw a line. Like, wow, that when somebody tells me that they can't do something, or they can only make it during a specific time or something, I do find I have so much awe towards them, and I'm like, good for them, because there just doesn't seem to be a lot of it. And like you mentioned with women, maybe it's the maternal instinct. We're also always trained as little girls to kind of be, be nice, and not that not that saying no is not being nice. I don't mean that, but just we're taught to just kind of, I don't know, be the mom, I guess what you said, the maternal instinct, whether you have children or not, that's just inside of us.
Yeah. Women in general, when they say no, they're considered not nice, not feminine, all of that. So yes, it becomes this image that we have that the woman has to always be loving and supportive and do everything for everybody. And instead of being in the image, we want to be in our own selves. That's really the trick, to learn to be in our own bodies.
And I've heard a few times, but once again recently, that there's the salary difference when people are out in the workforce between men and women, but they've also shown that women have a harder time asking for what they think they're worth.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's necessarily why women don't get paid as much, but I think it is a big factor that we just maybe we just don't find ourselves. Maybe we just don't find our worth to be what it really is.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, again, more backlash against women when they do ask for it, for what they're worth and for more money. Yeah, we're not conditioned that way. And men are conditioned to ask for whatever they want. That's, putting their ego first. They have been given compliments for that all their lives. They've been supported in doing that, whereas we were not.
You're right. That's a really good point. Interesting how men and women are so different like that. And you've talked about a few times about kind of relaying our feelings, talking about it. For those of you that have followed me for a while, my story, and I hit a very deep, dark rock bottom about 8 years ago, and it was for a lot of reasons. I wasn't accepting my pain, but I also didn't talk about it to anybody. My friends would know that I was sick. I wasn't feeling well. Do you remember you and I ever having heart-to-heart discussions way back when about how I was really feeling about this stuff? Yeah.
No.
I didn't want to trouble anybody. I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to seem like I was seeking sympathy. And I also thought, well, they can't possibly understand, so I'm just going to keep it inside. But again, that led me with self-destructive behavior, alcoholism, leading to, a DUI, which thankfully turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I didn't hurt anybody or myself. And that was like my base point of my gratitude. Anything is better than June 20th, 2013. I can look at anything, no matter how bad, and know that actually 2020 was not my worst year. 2013 was my worst year, but it was also my best year. You can look at it on both sides. Oh, speak of the devil. We've got Dr. Bruce Singer here. Hey, Bruce, glad you could join us. We were talking about the letters you made me write to and from my pain. And it was actually Dr. Singer. Well, when you go to rehab for pain, you're kind of forced to talk about it, whether you want to or not. But that's where I really learned how important it was to connect with others who kind of know what you're going through. And that's what AOG is about, attitude of gratitude with chronic pain. It's about sharing with each other. Now, in the group, we tend to have a positive spin on it. We're not talking about blood work. We're not talking about how awful our day is, because there's a lot of places you can do that. And on our live chats, twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you can say whatever you want. But this was a place where you can kind of escape that. We know we're all in pain. We don't need to compare our levels of pain, because it kind of doesn't matter. The way it affects you emotionally could be the same on any given day. It's really like, I've got this, now what? How can I be happy? And so that's what the group is about, and talking to others. But I didn't realize what a benefit it was to me and what I was missing out on with not talking about it, joining a support group earlier on. To me, it sounded depressing, but look where it got me. Not in a good place. So have you always known that talking about it was a good thing? Have you always been in tune with that, or is that something that evolved for you?
Not sure. Talking about my pain and my feelings.
Yeah, I guess your
Probably.
feelings. I think women do in general talk to other women about this stuff more so than men, I would say. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, for the most part, yes.
But a lot of times as women, we're also taught to show the happy go lucky, not necessarily the ugly warts that come along with everybody's lives, and that's keeping that in. It can be very, very toxic.
Yes, absolutely. Right? And that's the other side, like what we don't want to do with gratitude is make it that we're not allowed to have our negative feelings. We want to be allowed to have those feelings too. I mean, gratitude is wonderful. It helps get you out of that place. So our brains are really programmed to look for the negative because, in the wild, in the primitive times, there was danger everywhere. And so if you were alert to the negative, you are going to survive. So that has passed down in our DNA. But now in our current world, there's not nearly as much danger, although right now maybe
yeah, we don't have we're not being dragged by the hair as cavemen anymore, but we've got our own issues. But yeah, we're programmed to kind of for the fight or flight, right? To kind of go with that first.
Right. So this constantly looking for the negative keeps us in that fight or flight or freeze place where our stress is getting bigger all the time. But once you can find your gratitude, you can start to focus on some of the positives as well and put some more balance in your life so you're not always looking at the negatives.
Right.
Which is a great stress reliever, really. It's wonderful for anybody.
Not always feeling grateful either, but studies have been shown. Dr. Robert Emmons, who I know Bruce has worked under, talks about kind of faking it till you make it. If you start being grateful for anything small, I talked about this last week, anything, and you just keep upping your gratitude practice, doing it on a daily basis, you eventually will learn to be more grateful and kind of reprogram your thinking from that fight or flight mode. Yeah. So that would be another benefit of having a life coach like you, is that they can talk to you about these things, I would imagine. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've got a couple more comments here. Did I miss any? Sarah really loves your description and explanation of a life coach. I did too. Can you repeat that one more time about therapist to life coach? And
sure. So a doctor is, now I've forgotten it, right?
Doctor is to physical therapist or something?
The doctor is to a fitness trainer what a therapist is to a life coach. So the doctor is taking you from unwell to well, and the fitness trainer is taking you from well to optimally well. And the therapist is taking you from mentally unwell to mentally well, and the coach's job is to take you from well to thriving.
Thriving. I love that. Chronic thrivers. First of all, again, if you're late to the broadcast or just joining us, if you would like to be entered into the drawing, which we're going to be having in 5 minutes. Arlene, you ready? We can see her, but you guys can't see her, but I can see her. She just gave the thumbs up. If you want to be entered, you have 5 minutes left. Just write in the comments free coaching, and you will automatically be entered to win 3 free virtual sessions with the wonderful Gwynn Press Anidjar. So let's see some of those comments that have come through. Sarah Garrison, no one can be interpreted, received, and thought of as negative and sometimes as unloving. No,
no.
Kathy. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes. Pamela Creighton says the good girl syndrome is a title I've heard given to the conditioning that leads to this behavior of giving more than is healthy for us to give.
Yeah, that's well put.
Good. Yes, absolutely. And Bruce says, glad you kept the letters. Yes, I was happy to see them. I definitely got choked up reading them last week because I don't know that I had read them in the past 8 years, but it was good to bring me back to that green time when I was such a mess. But also interesting to hear, giving words to your pain and having the voice come back from them as well. So if anybody has any other questions for Gwynn, I feel like, since you and I are friends, I go way back, I could just talk your ear off and ask you questions all night. She is a member of Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain, so you'll see her commenting from time to time. And she always has really good things and insightful things to say, just like the rest of our members. Everybody's always so kind of in tune. I think people that join our group, they really just want to get better, which I think sounds strange because, of course, who wouldn't want to get better? But I mean better emotionally. A lot of people, the idea of a group of gratitude for people with chronic pain, they think, well, they must not really be in pain, or, that's just, quack. Maybe it is. It's not for everybody, but it is for a lot of us, for sure. Jill Cook says, thank you for the permission slip to sometimes say things out loud in order to take away their power. For sure. I've said this many times, so I repeat things. I'm sorry, but that's just my memory's going, and I just repeat things I always have. When I get out of the shower, when I take a shower, and I did take one today, I tell myself, good girl, because I remember after leaving Silver Hill, where we did have lots of loving support from Dr. Singer and our we had a PhD in physical therapy helping us. There was a lot of support. Then you get home and my family supported me. Don't get me wrong. I had a ton of support with that, but I kind of wished I had like a Jillian Michaels. I think I was watching The Biggest Loser at the time. And I'm like, I wish I had Jillian Michaels to kind of guide me through and say, good girl. So I just say it to myself, and it helps. It definitely helps. You can do this, things like that, saying it out loud. It does not only encourage us, but like you said, Gwynn, I think take away your power. And my Aunt Maureen is here. Hi, Aunt Maureen. Last chance, 2 minutes left until the drawing.
I just wanted to say, Lauren, I think what you've created with AOG is really a wonderful spot. When people talk about the negatives of Facebook, I think, no, we've got this great positive place on Facebook, and I see all of this whole group commenting and supporting one another, and it really makes it a positive place to go, where you can get away from the news and the negativity on other sites on the internet. So I think you've done a marvelous job.
Thank you so much. It's really the people that join that are so willing to do this. And we've got 5,500 people that join this group, knowing that they really, unless you come to our live chats, it's non-complaining. When you have a whole lot and every right to complain, and you need to, I definitely don't want to say that you shouldn't vent. You need to vent, which is why we offer those 2 live chats. But I just remember at the time feeling like I just, like being an empath too, I would gain other people's issues when I was in other groups. So it was just an escape. But it's really the magic of the people that join us creates the magic. But thank you very much. I enjoy it too. Most of the time I'm not on my personal Facebook anymore. I'm just either working on the group or in the group because I find it really positive and uplifting. Robin Davis says, I love AOG. There's my alarm to remind me. So Arlene, you ready to do the grand drawing, Arlene? She's going to type the winner of the 3 free sessions with Gwynn. And thank you for offering that. That's incredibly generous of you.
You're welcome.
So wait, Arlene's doing the drawing. Oh, she's showing it to me on the screen. Let's see. Margaret, wait, take it over. One of the Margarets. Go over to the other side. Margaret Morris. Yes. Awesome. Congratulations. That's great. I'm going to put up Gwynn's contact information. I'll private message you also and get you guys in touch. But Gwynn's contact information, I do have here somewhere.
Yeah, Margaret, you can just email me and we can set something up. So I'll look forward to hearing from you.
Yes, I'm so excited that you won. You're going to really love Gwynn. I did this wrong, so I need to remove us just for a minute while, oh wait, can I do this? No, can't do that. Let's try, no. Okay, let me do. All right, I'll leave that up on the screen afterwards. I did this the wrong way. But it's not an episode of GLCL unless I do something technologically wrong. So Gwynn, thank you. Is there anything you wanted to add for us as we close out of the hour? Thank you so much for being with us. This was an incredibly powerful hour.
No, thank you for having me. No, I don't think there's anything I need to add. If anybody wants, they can go to my website and find out a little more, and you can even sign up for a half hour free.
Oh, okay.
Website.
What are they normally? An hour, 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 50 to 60 minutes. Yeah.
That's good to know. That's really good to know, because not everybody could, everybody's time, what they're able to do changes depending on how they're feeling emotionally, physically, and all that. So it's Gwynn Anidjar, GwynnPressAnidjarCoaching.com. Mm-hmm. And again, I'll put this up at the end. And her Facebook page is Gwynn Press Anidjar Coaching. That sound right? I'll put it up at the end. I think it's Anidjar Coaching. Usually I put it up so I can put it on the screen with us, but I did something kind of funky tonight. Got a couple comments in the closing. Lots of congratulations from Margaret. Yes, congrats, Margaret. Congrats. Margaret's excited. Thank you. Yes. Yay, Margaret. Thank you, Gwynn. Thank you, Gwynn and Lauren. You're very welcome. Facebook user says, oh, how nice. That might be Pamela. I'm not sure. Pamela Creighton. Diana says, thank you so much for your invaluable insight. This really couldn't have come at a better time, Gwynn. The times are tough right now with COVID and all of that. We really need more techniques to teach us how to learn with all of this. Very insightful. Bruce says, thank you. And thank you both. So thank you again, Gwynn. So next week, I'll be broadcasting same time, same place. And our episode, the topic is going to be on joy, which I thought was a good one before the holidays. And then we've got to take a break for 2 weeks, because then there's Christmas. Oh, by the way, I meant to say this in the beginning. Happy Hanukkah to those of you that celebrate Hanukkah. It's first night of Hanukkah today. Happy Hanukkah to all of you. Next Thursday is Christmas Eve, and the following Thursday is New Year's Eve. I'm pretty sure nobody wants to hear me rattle on. So I won't be back until January. No, I wrote it down. Where is it? I'll be back right at the first Thursday after the new year. I will be back. I think it's the 6th or the 7th. And then we also have, I'm excited about our guest on January 21st. We have mindfulness expert and meditation teacher, Vidya Mala Birch. She wrote many books, but You Are Not Your Pain is one of them. I've been putting her breath breaks in the group for the past couple of weeks, but we did just nail down a day, January 21st. She's in the UK, so we have to do a different time because it's very late for her when we do this here. So it's going to be 4 p.m., but I'll be putting out an announcement for that. So thank you, all of you. I hope you enjoyed having Gwynn. I sure did. I learned a lot, and hope to see you next week.
Thank you.
Peace and love, gang. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Where's my cute little closing? Here it is.